He was 24 years old, oh I yeah vet. Got out of the Corps, medals all on his chest. He was proud at the time, he fought for our country. As time passed by, he really wasn't happy. Day turned darker, heart turned colder. Pride all gone, anger took over. Saw the VA and they gave him medication to help him fall asleep and stop hallucinating. PTSD with TBI, he was diagnosed. He used to have friends, but now they ain't even close. Play for the party, but now he just stays alone. Bottle up Patron, drinking it till it's gone. He picked up the phone and a 45 chrome. Told moms so miss her, hung up the phone. He wrote a note and this is what it said: I don't wanna live no more, I'm better off dead. You see the red flags, you can see them there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop it and open eyes. It's loud and you could even hear them. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention. Yeah, the red flags, you can see them there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop it and open eyes. It's loud and you could even hear them. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention. Yeah, the red flags. Yeah, pay attention to the red flags. They crying out for you, they screaming out for some help, but you just ignoring them. Pay attention. 18 years old, only just a PNC. Since he was a kid, he just glorified infantry. At 19, he earned him a CIB. Battle buddy died cause of death RPG. He saw it happen, his buddy died on his lap. He noticed both legs wasn't even both attached. He blamed himself, he thought it should have been him. Survived the whole war and didn't even get hit. Always thinking why his buddy died, why'd he get to live in his bag's room crying. Crying every day, morning, noon, every night. Blaming himself, he let his battle buddy died. He was a hard charger, but now he's just ate up. He had the whole world in his palms, but he gave up. He went to Home Depot and bought a rope. He hung himself in his bag's room, no. You see the red flags, you can see him there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop it and open eyes. It's loud and you could even hear him. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention. Yeah, the red flags, you can see him there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop it and open eyes. It's loud and you could even hear him. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention. Yeah, the red flags, you can see him there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud and you could even hear him. All you gotta do is stop looking, let's sing. They crying out for help, but some don't respond. Ignoring all the signs till they dead and they gone. First flag you see, they'll be acting withdrawn. Wanna be by themselves, sitting alone. It's time to buddy up, cause yup, this is wrong. Survive in battle, but die when we're home. Yeah, it hurts, that's why I make this song. It's time we see the sign like the lights when it's on. You see the red flags, you can see them there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud and you could even hear them. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention. Yeah, the red flags, you can see them there shining bright. All you gotta do is stop and open eyes. It's loud and you could even hear them. All you gotta do is stop and pay attention. Yeah, the red flags. Yeah, let's start paying attention to the red flags. They asking for our help, they showing us signs, but we just ignoring them. Let's start paying attention, y'all. A lot of people may think that it's a cop-out, that they can't hack it, but it ain't about that. To them, it's the best thing for everyone around them. Let's wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
All right, hey, it's me, Gonzo, with the Looking Glass. I gotta get on the road early today so I can get my dog down to LA. So if you're in the LA area, hit me up. I will kick it. Cindy, I'm gonna see you tonight. It's my taco mate right there. We're gonna get some tacos on her. The reason for today's show is I've been seeing a lot of people comment on having survivor's guilt, or not necessarily commenting that they have survivor's guilt, but making references and having actions that show that it's there. You know, I think it's a highly overlooked and forgotten about aspect of coming back. I think far too many people deal with it and don't realize they're dealing with it, or getting it misdiagnosed as something else. And it is what it is. It's a part of, I think, our selfishness and the recovery aspect of thinking that we can control too much. I think that it's kind of like you gotta take the serenity prayer, like with rehab. You know, God give me the wisdom to, or the strength to change the things I can, and the knowledge to accept the things that I can, or whatever, however it goes. But anyways, just to kind of demonstrate some of my, or where my survivor's guilt comes from, I guess you could say, I got a little clip put together. This was from when I was 18. This was the invasion of Iraq. This was a day at the office for me.
Is it this first intersection? Get on Chippy! Look at Chippy! Oh Lord! Lord! Section, we're taking right. Camera work. I'm videotaping this. Alrighty. Right. And more cops here for you. Oh, that looks yummy. I'll give you an off once you fire. Tell me when you're ready. Hey, I bet I can get them to ride the bike a little faster. You what? I bet I can get them to ride their bike a little faster. Videotape my EVs going off on the convoy. Hey, we need to fuck with these guys tonight. Yes, we do. Drunk and roll? Hell yeah. This place home, you got issues. Roger, we're back. Where? Faster.
So that was a typical day. That was a routine patrol. I'm gonna have it rolling over here, and that way I can sit there and kind of describe it a little bit. And for those of you that got a little bit of anxiety from that, everybody, I probably should put a little warning on there or something. But for those of you that were riding with it and you guys were just waiting for it to blow up, and you guys had that anticipation of when's it gonna blow, That's what we dealt with every time we rolled out the gate. That was just a routine patrol. That was nothing major. We were just out driving, 18, 19 years old, a bunch of us are kids in there. That was me in the gunner's turret of the Humvee. And it just, you're on edge the whole time. You know, right here, we just got back from getting hit with about 7 different RPGs in about a 6-block radius, or a 6-block run. And that was the only damage, was that whole sponsor box. And I mean, a lot of these things would cause people to feel like, oh, I shouldn't be here. You know, it should have been me. You know, my Lieutenant Ballard, the one seen with the hand mic to his ear in the video, and he's the one seen in the Hawaiian shirt, showing how we felt about the deployments. You know, that was the Solder Bureau. They were a little upset after we destroyed the Solder Bureau in Solder City after the 04, 04, 04 fights. They weren't too happy to see us when Maine made us go out and take pictures of it. Then that's my LT right there rocking his 50 cal, which he loved to do, which he did every day as much as he could. But in an attack where they had a bunch of our scouts pinned down, we had about 7, 8 scouts from Easy Company pinned down when we were in the JOF, and they were taking fire from all sides of the building. They couldn't get out. It was a hopeless situation. They told them that they were pretty much screwed. But we got the call anyways to go out and see what we could do, and we instantly, on my crew anyways, we're like, we'll walk them out. You know, we'll go put our front slope on the front door, and then they'll come out with us. So that's what we did. We pushed our way in. We got my front slope on the door of where they were. We absorbed the fire for them while they crawled out under our tank. We got them all out of there. We exfilled, and upon exfill, we started taking mortars. Mortars took one of our guys on the push in, so everybody got the orders to button up. Everybody buttoned up, but we were so far in, they had jersey barriers up and stuff. My lieutenant felt the need that he needed to ground guide me backwards, which I kept trying to explain to him he didn't, but he felt the responsibility as a tank commander. So he got up and he was directing me or whatever, and then his last command was, all right, go ahead and hard left, get us home. So I followed his command, and I did so. And when I did, I hit a tree branch. The tree branch struck the 240, the loader's 240. And it swiveled, and it decapitated him. You know, and that was really hard for me to live with for a while. You know, I felt really responsible for, I was a better driver than that. I didn't have to hit the tree. I didn't really see the tree, to be fair. But I should have known it was there. You know, I had a lot of these thoughts. It wasn't until I reached out to his mother and figured out that she didn't hate me, that she didn't blame me for everything, that I was able to start kind of working on that guilt. But too many people accept responsibility for that, you know. And there was investigations. I mean, I had to talk to higher commanders. It was a mess. But at the end of the day, I still had to deal with it. I know my loader still has a hard time with it, but that wasn't on us. That wasn't, you know, combat gets loud, it gets real. And you're lying with yourself if you act like you're not going to lose somebody, you know. I went over there knowing that we wouldn't all make it back. I knew that it was going to be what it was going to be, but still sucks when it happens, you know. But when you get back, you get this sense of like, I don't deserve anything. I shouldn't be here. I should have died over there. And that's not true. I always tell people I've been shot, stabbed, jumped, and beat, and that's since I've been home from the military. I had all that stuff happen in the military too, but it doesn't matter where you're at, it's going to happen, you know. So, I mean, that's all there is to it. And to come back and discredit yourself or discredit your friends, you know, passing selfishly by trying to take credit for something that's not your fault. You had no control over it. You did nothing, you know, there was nothing you could do. It's not right. You know, it's not on you. It's not your right to take that from them. I feel like some of the issues we have sometimes, I know I get upset because it's like, what's left? What's a hospital bed, a car accident? You know, I guess the best I could hope for is to go out on my bike, you know, doing something I love. But, you know, they got to die on the battlefield. They got that hero's death. So it's like, why take that from them? And yes, what took my lieutenant was an accident, but it very easily could have been any of the countless other times that we were engaged. And it was an incident following a great act. Easy 6. The commander that was on the ground that day that went under my tank, actually, 10 years later in California, had been brought in for, he was now Major Miller, was brought in for my what was it called? My hearing to see if I was able to stay in the military or not. Following my court martial, following all my time served, everything, they still tried to kick me out. And I had a board because I had enough time in to fight it. And the guy that they picked that couldn't be part of my branch, couldn't be part of my MOS, couldn't be from the state, couldn't be from the area, that couldn't have any type of relation with me or my job, was brought in to sit as president of the board. And just happened to be Major Miller, who was the guy who crawled under my tank that day. So he granted me retention. Blew people away, but they didn't understand the history because they weren't supposed to be. But that right there told me that things happen for a reason. I mean, 10 years later, completely different country, completely different circumstances, and we meet again. Like, I've had too many attempts in my life, I think, to try and do it myself. So, I mean, I don't know. I always feel like I would mess it up and be stuck just worse off than I already am. But to each its own. Let's see. Comment strange to miss something and hate at the same time. Yeah, no, I feel you. And I think that it's because combat seems so much easier. It was shoot first, ask questions later if you felt like it. I know I didn't have a lot of issues, or still don't have very many issues with the engagements I had and when I had to pull triggers, because I always did it with clear conscience. I always engaged something I felt was a threat or was a threat to somebody that was with me. It didn't always turn out to be the case, but at the time with the information given, I did what I felt was necessary, and I would do it again without hesitation, every one of my actions. And that's why I can sleep with it, because I don't make no bones about that. I know sometimes it does get hard to push on or to find motivation, but realistically, I mean, I got a list of guys going down my arm, and it can carry on to a whole nother platoon, if I added on all the guys I've lost since I've been back. But it's not, I'm not going to log it like that. What's up, Ivan? All right, let me knock out these commercials real quick.
This flag isn't backwards. It's assaulting forward. Born was a nation of independence, who made the choice to make their lives and their families' lives better. Always moving forward, never retreating, never giving up. We carry on that tradition today. Fight on, break through, never quit. This flag isn't backwards, it's assaulting forward. We are grunt style, and this will defend.
You're listening to Veteran Radio Syndicate, brought to you by Alpha Outpost. Want the gift that keeps on giving every month that you actually want? Each month, you'll be receiving a box filled with gear that a true American patriot would want. Your first month, you'll be getting the everyday carry. It comes with a badass bag to hold all your gear. So head over to alphaoutpost.com today and grab America by the box.
Veterans a day commit suicide. 20 a day. Active Heroes, a 501c3 charity, is on a mission to end veteran suicide with peer mentors like you. For a $30 donation, you can become a trained and certified peer mentor to help heal local vets and their families. Join now and be listed on the Active Heroes resource map to connect with local veterans. Visit activeheroes.org to join and learn more.
Comes a time in a man's life that laughter becomes the best medicine. Visit the5b.com today and embrace the Bravo. Titty sprinkles.
Hey everyone, John Burke here. More and more these days we're seeing social justice warriors demand that we conform to their weak-minded way of thinking. Well, if you're like me, I get sick and tired of it. So at itagear.com, we are now running clothing that is so damn offensive, it'll send the little snowflakes running for their safe spaces and into the arms of their gender studies professors. So if you like practicing your First Amendment right by wearing offensive clothing, then ITA gear is just what you're looking for. Let them burn flags, we can wear shirts that trigger them. Once again, that's itagear.com, veteran-owned and operated.
You're listening to Veteran Radio Syndicate on VetRS.com. The best in online radio.
All right. So, if I identify it as, survivor's guilt as an issue, I don't like to just complain about something. I don't like to just put something out there as a problem without providing some sort of solution, some sort of remedy, something that at least worked for me. I'm not going to say it can work for everybody, but for me, getting to know the family helped out tremendously. Getting in touch with them, staying in touch with them. I'm still in touch with the majority of my Gold Star families. A lot of guys will use the guilt and the grief of the family suffering as a reason to self-loathe and destroy themselves and kind of destroy their own lives because they don't feel like they deserve it. Which again is selfish. If not for yourself, do it for the guys that couldn't be here to partake, that didn't get an opportunity to experience these things. Sometimes I've said before, sometimes I feel like I'm living for the lives that are on my arm. I'm living for the guys that didn't get a chance. And some days that helps me through. You can't always do it for a kid or for a spouse because things happen. I don't want to jinx anybody or curse anybody or anything, but people lose their kids. Divorces happen, and you lose your kids. That way. So when you develop your support system on that, and it gets taken from you, that's going to damage and jeopardize everything that you worked for. So it's got to be done for you, really. So that's really my only advice with it. For me, when, like I said all the time, when I started getting down at Redcon 1 and with those guys and with Boone and kind of getting more involved in the community and getting back in touch with the vet community, that did a number for me. That really, it created the positive stimuli, just like combat provided the negative. And it was enough continuously and repetitively positive stimuli that it was able to create another change in me, kind of evolve me again into a more rounded person. And too many guys go from this high tempo lifestyle like we lived to try and act like they're going to retire and just sit on the couch, and you can't do that. It doesn't happen. You can't just shut it off. You just learn how to evolve it and kind of refocus it. Survivor's guilt, like I said, it's ugly. It makes people really feel like they're not worth it, like they don't deserve it, like they shouldn't be here. And when they start babysitting those thoughts, if things start going wrong in their life, it kind of validates it to them, and you can't give in. You just gotta realize that stuff's temporary. Why am I coughing? I'm coughing because I let a root canal go too long because I'm stubborn and I don't like going to the dentist, and it caused an infection, which is causing me to cough. Not to mention, the Great Blunt Wrap is a little harsher than usual. So you want to call me on my coughing. But that's my take on survivor's guilt. I mean, I know we all got it from different things. Guys will get it for serving and not serving, not deploying. A lot of those guys, I get a lot of suicidal calls from guys like that when Veterans Day comes around or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, don't thank me," blah, 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 and they get all sensitive about stuff. And I try to tell them, I got guys that served with me 2 tours in some of the most heaviest fighting, never pulled the trigger once, never got engaged. And they just never happened to be in those moments. And it's like the enemy picked them. We didn't. So, you can't fault yourself. You could have went to combat and still not done anything, but you still supported in some way and you're still ready to go, which is more than most people could say, And even if you were stuck, I know a lot of guys from Fort Irwin feel that way. But you know what? There was a lot of lives saved from the training. I mean, to my guys, think about that one kid that was in the guard unit that kept getting left. We had this cycle that came through, and they had this young private, Bojo, I know you remember, and we'd walk up to him and be like, "Hey, bro, you're coming with us," and he's like, "Man, they left, didn't they?" And we're like, "Yeah." So after like the 4th time in the town that these dudes left this kid, and they would just completely forget he was there because he just got to this unit. He was like, they're gonna get me killed. Like, he was so worried, but we had to teach him how to be present in his unit, how to stand out, how to like keep attached to his unit. Because he was like, the first time I seen it, and the sergeant said, "Hey, private, stand here, watch this corner. You don't move until I come get you." Roger, sergeant. He stood there and he did like a good private. He watched that corner. We watched his squad walk out of the town behind him, but he was watching the opposite corner, so he couldn't see it. But he stood his ground and he watched that corner because Sarge never came and got him. And Sarge forgot about him. So after he sat there for about 15, 20 minutes, when his guys were gone, still just holding tight, we finally went and let him know, like, "Hey, bro, get up, go back to your unit," you know, because we were just training. Had we been the enemy, he'd have been done. First day, he'd have been done. But I don't know. It was good times. All right, well, I'll leave you guys with that because I got to really get on the road. But I just wanted to go ahead and knock out a show real quick, and I'd been wanting to talk about this topic, and I'll touch on it more again another day. But for now, I'll leave it with this, and I'll have this replay again this evening. So if you're catching the replay, leave some comments, and you know, I'll respond to them. I respond to them as fast as I can, and hopefully it helps somebody. I'm gonna do Cousin Banks' favorite song real quick, just because I'm still feeling it, and it's a new release that he's coming out with.
Caught me a pound 15 for the flip, Bobby. I used to bust a few rounds, used to bust a few knocks, every corner in the town, Bobby. Done with a few grow ops, raided by the cops a couple times, I don't care, Bobby. I done fucked off some work, but I always bounce back on the grind, I don't care, Bobby. And I can show you where the kicks at. I can show you how to flip that. And I can show you how to mismatch, sell it to a nerd, they ain't never gonna get it back. And I was faded when I did that, and they hated that I did that. Everybody pissed in, I don't give a damn. When I'm perking, I be kicked back. Every day I be rolling through the town, I be been blowing on loud, I be being high than a motherfucker, and I ain't never coming down, I be rolling through the town, I be blowing on loud, I be being high than a motherfucker, and I ain't never coming down, I've been blowing on loud, being high than a motherfucker, never coming down. I've been blowing on loud, being high than a motherfucker, never coming down. I be fresh out the jacks with the bundle and my set. I hustle to get it, just tell them I be. Never have needed no muscle on this, so I work out the issue and iron the crease. Felony charges and FTA warrants. The police will tell you I'm on a come spree. Oh, that's your bitch and you think that we fucking. You ask her, I bet you she tell you. Probably turn a bad bitch pussy to my new hobby. Bet I make it rain in this motherfucker. Ask you if you wanna see a dead body. Let's get it, show of hands in this motherfucker. Reach for the skies like I told you to freeze. Look at the back of this 20 on weed. Guys in the bushes on cushions, no seeds. High as these taxes, just tell them I be. Every day I be rolling through the town, I be been blowing on loud, I be being high than a motherfucker, and I ain't never coming down, I be rolling through the town, I be blowing on loud, I be being high than a motherfucker, and I ain't never coming down, I be